Hi. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to FQ. I am here for the pre-season race around Belgium, and I'm joined today in the commentary box by none other than a bit of a legend around these parts, I hear. Finexi, how you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm good, mate. It's an interesting track, sure. High
Hmm.
speed and low speed. It'll be interesting to see what the setups are here. Well, who's gonna go low
Yeah,
downforce? Who's gonna go medium downforce? If that
absolutely.
downforce can help in the second sector.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks where you can go either way. You can go for low downforce for the first and third sectors, or you can go for high
Yeah.
downforce and try and maximise the
Oh,
corners. And
I think people are gonna go high
oh,
downforce.
and it's
That
full
is a
wet.
lot of rain.
That is brutal for pre-season race, but it's going to make
Mm.
qualifying wide open. It's what we love to see.
It
Um,
throws everything out of the window. It is the great equalizer after all.
Absolutely, it is.
But a Ferrari going out first. And it is the full wet tyres on that Ferrari.
Yeah, that's not a surprise at all. It's I can't pronounce that. I'm going to call him Shah.
Mm, yeah, sure.
Um,
That's
in the
yeah.
Ferrari, who goes out first and braves the conditions. So obviously, I'm new to FQ recently.
Yeah.
You aren't, and you've been
No.
around here since season one last season. Who out
Yes.
of this grid would you say has the potential to be right up there? Who is your eye on?
I think obviously the Mercedes of Jerome right now jumping in from Division 1 to Division 2. Obviously he's going to be one to watch out for, but also Defonut Kaz in the Aston Martin. He's really quick and can't count out people like Simi and Golf and, you know,
Of
Nick
course,
Fuhrman
yeah.
as well.
Of course, yeah. We've
There's
got,
Red Bull around, losing its front wing. Double right alien.
yeah, quad end has gone into the barrier.
Yeah.
Apologies if I'm not saying much. You're apparently a little bit quiet, so I'm going to have to change that in Discord a sec.
Alright.
Um,
It looks very, very treacherous out there at the moment.
yeah,
I would not want to be driving in these conditions.
it's always going to be treacherous in these conditions. However, it is when the real good drivers uh, really show what they're made of. So
Yes. The
that should be better
margins
now
could
for
be improved.
that should be
Yep.
better now for the audio simi. So just let me know. We can get to commentating on this race. So we've got a few outlaps, and hopefully we'll catch someone on a flying lap. So you can take us
Yep.
around a lap. In fact, the Ferrari is just about to start one. So would you like to take us around a hot lap? I know I've
Yeah.
put you on the spot.
Into turn 1, it's obviously going to be very, very cautious, going a little bit wide there on the full wet tires, getting caught on the curb a little bit there, but doesn't invalidate, and that is the most important part. Up Eau Rouge, it's going to be a lift, a little bit of brake applied as well. Through Eau Rouge in these conditions, no DRS obviously. In the full wets, there's going to be an Alpine in front of us, getting out of the way nicely, and as we head through the first sector, it's going to be a 34.1 for sector 1. Then the sector 2, very, very technical, very, very difficult. Definitely to keep hold of the car, that looked very, very slidey.
Okay, it looks like a pretty hooked up lap so far. He is going to be the one who sets the benchmark. We don't know how good or bad that sector 1 is going to be as he makes his way through the first part of sector 2. Sector 2, very long technical sector, of course. We've actually got someone in the pit still, Kaz, but he's decided to put on the intermediate tyres. He thinks it's going to dry out quite soon. Everyone else at the moment is on those full wet compound.
Yeah.
We've got other people on a lap as well. Rob in the Red Bull is also going towards the start of sector 2.
Few tenths up in sector 1.
Yeah, so good job from him. Another one of the guys who I know from Simcade, and someone who I think's improved a lot in this game, so he'll be using this wet, I'm sure, as a way to try and maybe upset some of the fast guys at the top.
Yeah, Rob definitely has potential to be up there. In this Division 2 grid it's going to be very tight, but I think he's got a very cool head, and I think he can manage it.
Absolutely.
Just look at the Ferrari going very, very wide in the final corner. Hasn't invalidated the lap.
It's not, I don't think. The minimap didn't go red, so it will count. It's a 2:05.8. That's for everyone else to try and beat, although with that mistake, yeah, it wasn't going to be long.
Has been beat by quite a long way by Jerome, 158.3.
A great lap from Jerome, and the first man into the sub 2 minutes. Can anyone get near that? That is the question. We've got a couple more people going to finish a lap. Rob is the next one. He goes second on a 2:01.4. And then we've got the McLaren of Anj Hamid. He's going to come across the line and put himself P2, 7/10 off the sub 2 minutes. Stevie's on an out lap, and then we have also Simi going onto a lap as well.
In the final sector in the Williams.
Very well spotted, thank you. Yep, Skip is about to finish a lap as well. He's one of the people that I would say could have a chance of doing well today.
Yeah. Definitely Constructors champions in Season 1, Skip and Simo.
Little bit sketchy out of the bus stop, but he does go P2 with a good lap. So at the moment, no one can touch Jerome. That is a really good lap from him. Very impressive, especially considering it's his first lap in the wet, and usually you need to build up your confidence. What will be interesting as I cut to the Aston Martin of Kaz is how he fares on these intermediates, because how well he does will... what's the word I'm looking for?
Reaction.
Yes, it will invoke a reaction from everyone else. If he's slower, everyone will stay on the wets. If he's faster, everyone will jump to the intermediates, and these laps will be irrelevant because the intermediates will be a lot faster.
Yeah.
He's sticking with it, and he's going to go for a lap, so I think I'm going to stay on board with him for this lap, see how these mediums are faring in these wet conditions. Pretty tidy first corner. You can afford to go wide there, but he keeps it tidy, he gets decent traction. So it might be the crossover point where the intermediates might start being faster.
Yeah, interestingly, Golf isn't as strong, goes even faster.
Yeah.
Golf is on an out lap and he's on the wets as well, so Kaz has taken a risk here. As Nick Fuhrman, second fastest, 158 lap.
Yep, great lap, and quite close. Sorry, you carry on.
First sector, which is probably the first sector, and that's obviously a big sign for everyone to maybe put on the inters.
It definitely is. You can just tell, compared to when we were running on board with the likes of Rob, that he's got so much more grip and confidence on those intermediate tyres. So I think we'll see everyone pitting now and following him, especially if this ends up being the fastest lap of qualifying. So we have Stevie move up into P3 with a 58.9. That's a really good lap from him. The two Alpines looking strong today. Obviously this won't count towards any championships, it's pre-season, but this will sort out the kind of order we're going to get for the season itself. So it'll be interesting how all the constructors and drivers work out in this one. As we're still...
Kaz purple in sector 2 as well.
Yeah, brilliant sector, and it's looking pretty much certain that he's going to set the fastest lap of qualifying so far. He's gone purple, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes purple again.
Yep.
Towards the bus stop chicane, the hardest braking zone.
Oh, that actually looks a little bit wide, but he's got it done well.
Yeah, I think he's done well. He's good traction as well, out the corner, across the line.
Traction out the corner. It's only second fastest, but
it showed up as purple on all three sectors, and yet he doesn't go fastest. Work that one out.
I think the game is lying to us.
Yeah, thanks for that, Codemasters.
Rob is on a flying lap and 2/10 up currently. And that's Golf.
Disqualified for going the wrong way, so he must have spun and not got going again in time. That is very unfortunate. He hadn't set a lap yet.
Yeah.
So he is going to be last on the grid. Luckily in this game you don't have pit lane starts.
Even though he was up on his time, but he is pitting now. So
I think everyone's
I think-
realised that despite Kaz going only P2, it is time for those intermediates, as we have
Yes.
Anchamid and Skip joining him. Although Anchamid's gone back onto the wets in the pits, which is an interesting one. Although I do think...
in sector 1.
Oh no. I was about to say, Kaz might be on another flyer, but I think he's charging the battery again to go for another one.
Yeah.
Bit of a lull.
Let's see if he starts his lap or if he goes into the pits. He's going into the pits.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo man deciding to ditch those wet tyres.
We do have a Ferrari without a front wing out there, as well as a Red Bull without a front wing, so I think they're...
And
Quad-End
hasn't pitted. The Red Bull you were mentioning, sorry, hasn't pitted for a new front wing. He's decided to carry on, which baffles me a little bit, but... You know,
it's very interesting.
He must have a plan of action. Maybe he put way too much front wing on, and it feels nicer without the front wing. Who knows?
That could be.
Maybe he got rid of it on purpose.
Nice.
Right, just on board with AJ, who is on a valid flyer at the moment.
Yeah.
Is he going to finish the lap, or is he going to come in for inters? Is the question. He goes wide at the bus stop, and he's coming in.
Yeah, he's pulling, because he wouldn't have enough time.
Yeah. So 7 minutes left, just under half the session, and we've got a couple more people coming out on wets.
Smart has invalidated in the final sector, so...
Yeah. Right, on board with Kaz, who's just started another flyer up Eau Rouge. Let's see how he does in the first sector.
Wet tires. Interesting.
Yeah, we've got kind of a 50-50 split right now of inters and wets. It must be at that crossover point.
Kaz is a 10 top.
Yep. So he needs to find a couple more, and he'll be right on Jerome's tail in terms of lap time. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jerome himself come out on inters towards the end of the session, though.
Rob is on inters as well.
Yes. Yeah, so we've got Rob, Simi, Skip, and Kaz all on inters, and we've got Nick Furyman, Stevie, Anchamid, and Quad-End all out there at the moment on wets.
Yeah. This is looking like a very nice lap from Kaz. He's kept it very well held.
Yeah, it's definitely clean.
The first sector.
Whether it's fast, we'll see at the split. So he comes onto the back straight. Massive, yeah.
Going to be an easy provisional pole for Kaz as long as he gets bus stop right, and it does look like inters. Nick Furyman's period from the wets, crucially.
Yeah, I think
he's going on to the inters.
Everyone is on or going on to inters now, as Kaz gets the chicane hooked up really nicely there and gets a good exit, and this will surely be provisional pole for him, and it is 3/10 up on Jerome.
I think Rob is going to start his lap right now on the intermediates as well, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. He doesn't have enough fuel to go for 2 runs here. He only has the fuel for this 1 run, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice, because I would usually prefer to have a couple of laps to get the confidence up, but he clearly feels confident enough that he can get everything out of the car on 1 lap, so this might be his only chance to put in a challenge.
He's gone off. He hasn't invalidated that. How is...
Somehow...
I mean, he's kept it going.
Somehow he's cheated the invalidation there. I don't know how he's managed that.
He's purple in sector 1, 1.5 seconds up.
1.5 seconds up on his, obviously, previous lap time, not the provisional pole time. That would be great if he was, but it's not, unfortunately, for Rob. So he's definitely improving
a lot right now, so you want to be out there.
Yeah, you can tell from the start of the session the rain has eased off a lot and the track's got a lot drier. There's a lot less standing water, and drivers are really finding the grip on these inters now. Kaz is still out there on that old set of inters, and he might be going again because he's recharged his batteries and he's going quite slowly.
Yeah.
as I cut back to Rob on his lap, as I believe he's going to be the next person to cross the line.
Oh, that's a bit wide through there.
A little bit. Oh, we've got a
3
retirement.
seconds up on his old time, and that is quad, and he was driving out without a front wing for
Yeah,
a lot of the session, so...
It looks like he went off at the exit of the chicane at the end of the Kemmel Straight there, so that's unfortunate for him. As we're on board with Rob now, through the bus stop chicane. Oh, quite wide, didn't quite get the car stopped there. And he's...
Oh, that's a bit wide. Hasn't invalidated again, Rob, up the line.
He still goes second.
Just about. Yeah,
And
just
if
about
it wasn't...
misses on pole.
And I fear if it wasn't for that mistake at the bus stop, he would have been on provisional pole.
Yeah. I'm on board with Simi, he's also finishing the lap as it stands.
That is true. He comes across the line.
Simi
P2.
fastest. That is close.
Very close between the guys, and then we have an Alpine about to start a lap.
Kaz is 14 sec. In sector 1.
We'll go on board with him then.
And his advantage at the top.
Yeah, he's not resting on his laurels, and he was the first one on the Inters, and I feel like he may have got the best strategy because he's built up his confidence now on these tyres. But obviously we are yet to see Jerome, who's a pace setter on the wets, set a lap on this compound.
But he will only have one lap with Jerome, so he will have to nail it.
He will, but if there's anyone that can, if that first stint's anything to go by, it is him. As through the second sector, on board with Kaz we go. A lot of speed carried through there. It looks like he's got real good confidence on the power.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Jerome. Jerome, no.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna stay on board with Kaz and then go on board with Jerome for what could possibly
Jerome
be
looks to
the
have
fastest lap.
invalidated his lap,
Has
which
he?
is absolutely massive. AJ got provisional pole 4 times. Wow,
He does.
I completely missed that. Skip is second fastest as well.
Yep, sorry for that. We're missing that, but yeah. Skip now P2, AJ now P1 with a great lap.
Kaz now needs this lap.
He does indeed. Can he get into the 56s? Can he be the first man in the 56s? He comes across the line and he is by a whole second in pole.
Wow.
That is a massive statement from Kaz, and that is all he has left, I think. He will not do another lap.
I'm on board with Nick Fuhrman, about to end his sector 2. Nick is 2.5 seconds up on his current time, and that would be pole time for Nick.
It would, yes. It will be pole time by quite a margin. Nick's been relatively quiet in this session, but if it is going to be a good lap, he's doing it at the best time.
And
Into the
Nick
bus
has
stop.
gone second fastest with a 56.2 as we look at Nick Fuhrman. Could he go on to provisional pole position? Coming across the line now. Oh my goodness me, that is 11.5.
We thought that Kaz's lap was good. That was even better by a country mile. 1.1 up and...
second fastest.
Yep, Stevie makes it an Alpine 1-2. Never heard that
And
before.
Jerome has gotten to the line to start on the lap, so he is still in contention here for a pole position.
Right, I am going to stay on board with Jerome for this whole lap because this could be very well the pole lap right here. As he heads towards the infamous Eau Rouge. Gets it hooked up lovely on the right and then the left, doesn't... And he invalidated it. It didn't look like he was outside from that view, but he did invalidate.
He was marginally outside there. AJ's gone 4th fastest as well, he's improved.
Ooh, that was
And
very...
2 up on his time.
Very close. So we now go on board with Antramid, who's 5 tenths up, going through the second sector. Through the final sector now, and Blanchimont, is it flat? Not quite, little lift through Blanchimont there for the McLaren driver.
Stop the Alpine 1-2, or...
Alpine supremacy, and it's wide at the bus stop again, people struggling to get the car stopped. Here, is it going to be enough to put him on pole? I doubt it, but it might be. It's 4th in the end.
Oh my, that is close between 3rd and 5th. 3rd and 6th even. Simmons invalidated, and I think that's everyone. And
Stevie is still on a lap. Stevie is still on a lap, and he's gone purple.
Purple. Yeah.
In the second sector, if the minimap is to be trusted. Could Stevie upset Nick and start a teammate rivalry even in the pre-season race? Because it doesn't look like anyone's going to disrupt this Alpine 1-2. Again, wide into the bus stop.
That's a little bit wide as well, off the corner. Can he steal pole position here? Just about 151-1.
He does improve.
155-1, sorry. And,
he does improve, but it's not enough.
Yeah. It's an Alpine 1-2, and they are a second up the field.
That was a great qualifying session, with the Inters and the Wets playing a part. And that is your grid then for the race. The big story is Jerome, who is a Division 1 driver and has been asked to drive because we're short on numbers. Didn't get a lap in because he invalidated twice, so we're going to have a good race, I think, seeing him work his way back up the field. So that is definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, he's going to be one to watch out for in the race for sure. I know he's going to be kicking himself after those invalidations when he could have had a potential pole position, but what a performance from the two Alpines. Take a bow.
You are absolutely right there, Finexi. That was a great showing from them too. They did the laps when they needed to. So I'll run through the pre-season grid for Spa-Francorchamps. So it is Nick Furyman who takes pole with a 154.9, just under 3 tenths ahead of his teammate Stevie in the other Alpine. Then it's Kaz, Anshamid, AJ, Skip, Simi, Rob, Jerome, and Shah, who please, if when he watches this back, please tell me how to pronounce your name. Who he rounds out the top 10. Quad End and Golf 11th and 12th, with Golf not setting a lap time because of his disqualification. Right, a good quali then. Very interesting. What are you thinking is going to be the main stories of the race then?
I think it's going to be the two Alpines at the top. If they truly have a pace advantage like that, it's going to be interesting to see how them two get along. And obviously Jerome and Golf fighting their way through the field is going to be very, very interesting. I
agree with you there. This teammate rivalry with the two Alpines starting on the front row could get quite spicy, and then you've got Jerome working his way through. So yeah, and back to dry conditions. So anyone who gambled on a dry setup is going to be in the money here. Anyone who's on a wet setup might be a little bit disadvantaged, but we'll see. Yeah. That's all to play for.
And Shah has said in the chat that it's correct. We have pronounced the name correctly, so
yes, that's a win. Thank you very much for clarifying, Shah, and I will continue to try not to butcher your name for the rest of the season. Right, so do you want to do the honours for Lights Out?
Yeah, I can do that.
Go on then.
As long as people get their things ready. There we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. We're ready to go here in Spa. And we are underway, and it looks like Nick has gotten a decent start in front of his teammate. Kaz already up the inside of the second Alpine as we head into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact. Who is that? I think that was AJ going straight on, but it's Nick who leads. A perfect start for him.
Ooh, and I've just cut to Stevie in the background, who's been collected, and there's a big pile up in the back of the pack. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that was a big crash, and we've had a few I think get unlucky at the start. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, and it is a virtual safety car right at the start of this race, so that gives me a bit of a lull to tell you what's happened after that start. Nick Furyman gets away well on the medium tyres, and is ahead of Kaz in second, and Anshamid with a great start up into third place, and Shah from 10th on the grid up all the way to 4th. So yeah, and Quad End from 11th. So that just shows how much jeopardy there was at the start. The big losers there being AJ, Skip, Jerome and Stevie, of course.
Yeah. I didn't quite see what happened there at the start. I was on board with Kaz. That's all around Shah.
Yep, I caught that on stream. He is in the wall, going through Puon under the safety car, and he's lost his front wing.
Yeah, struggling to find reverse here.
I think he's beached. I think he's beached. And there's a
Oh,
full course safety car
oh
now.
dear, and that changes everything.
It does
Do you
indeed.
box? Do you not box?
Right, so while we are under safety car, I'll run you through the tyres that everyone has decided to... Oh, and he's been disqualified.
That is unfortunate.
Oh, big shame for Shah there, but he's just beached. I mean, he could have... I don't know if reset to track is enabled in this lobby, but he could have done, I mean, if he was beached, but it's a shame for him. Anyway, the tyres everyone's gone for, if they don't pit, is medium for Nick, and then
Kaz is
soft for him. Kaz is pitting from the softs.
Yep.
So everything I said is wrong.
No one else. AJ's in for a front wing change as well,
Yeah,
and Stevie's in.
I will wait for them to all come out the pits and then go through the tyres. I think that might be the best way. As
Kaz
Nick-
with a front wing change onto the mediums, which is an interesting tyre choice. I would have gone for
Oh,
softs myself.
Stevie
Steve
retired from the session
in
in
the
the pit
pits.
lane. I'm surprised Kaz came in there because he didn't seem to get caught up, but he must have got enough front wing damage to warrant a change because he was up in second place.
But now it's obviously the question of whether Kaz has enough tyre life in those tyres to go to the end. I mean, it's definitely not unheard of.
Yeah, we got Shat in chat saying he couldn't move. Yeah, we saw that on stream, mate. Big shame for you. I mean, could you not have reset to track? That's what I was thinking, but yeah, shame to not see you because you had a great start as well. As we have AJ on hard tyres now, looking to go to the end, just trying to catch up to the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Right, so now everyone's pitted and we are formed up safely behind the safety car. I'll now go through the tyres everyone's elected. So Nick, Simi, Golf, Skip, Jerome and Kaz all opting for the medium tyre to start with, presumably to go to the soft at the end, with Antamid, Quad End and Rob all on softs for the aggressive start, and then we've got AJ trying to recover and go to the end on the hards. Now, with AJ's pace, that might not be a bad shout, especially if there's another safety car.
Yeah, if you can get up the field and everyone else pits and there's a safety car, obviously AJ is going to be in prime position then to box himself and get a free stop. I think he is definitely going to be one to look out for, because those 15 laps on hards, I don't think that's going to be too much of a task.
They'll be a little bit second hand by the end, but I think he will be able to do it. So yeah, we've had 2 retirements already, considering we only did half a racing lap, if that. We've had Stevie DNF in the pit lane, and we've had Shah, who got beached on what seemed like a flat bit of grass, a bit of a. I think he got EA'd a little bit there, unfortunately, but he got disqualified for parked in a dangerous location.
Simi has front wing damage. He's coming in.
He's coming in. Did he get that on the last lap? Did you see anything?
I don't know. I haven't actually caught it, but I think he might have, because otherwise he would have pit on the previous lap, I would think. So maybe something under the safety car, but there's been no penalties for collisions under safety cars, which is interesting.
It goes on to the softs, does Simi, so
Yes.
he's going to try and make up as many places and gets a front wing change, like you said. And he's going to rejoin the back of the pack very shortly. Hopefully, at the end of this lap, we'll get racing again and we won't have any more safety cars, so we can get some racing action.
Jerome in P7 at the moment behind Skip. Definitely one to look out for on the restart. He's going to want to make up the places immediately, as is Kaz and AJ. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I think Nick has a task now to extend the gap as much as he can before the guys behind get past all of the other cars. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on this restart.
He's also going to be very wary, Nick, of the people behind him on the soft tyres. 3 people who will be looking to use that softer compound to full effect.
Ooh, that's a lock-up for Golf, but I don't think that's affected him too much.
No damage? Doesn't look like it on the front
no
wing.
damage.
I'm
Big
currently
puff of smoke.
concentrating on Jerome, who's the head of that trio who look to be out of position. Jerome, Kaz and AJ. I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of following each other through the pack.
Yeah, Simi as well, definitely, on the softs. It's going to be
Absolutely.
one to look out for.
As we should shortly, as we cross the shortly cross the sector 3 line, have the notification that the safety car will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap.
Hopefully at least. But we will have to see.
Right, I'm going to go on board with the leader for the restart, and as suspected, we will be in. So, be interesting to see how Nick bunches up the field, whether he decides to go a little bit quicker or bunch them all up really slow. At the moment, he seems to be going a moderate pace.
Yeah. You would think that you want to go as late as possible, like as soon as you get out of the chicane, considering that he has the worst tires compared to Ange, and Ange could have a better bus stop if he goes now, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it does look like he is following your advice. Maybe you can hear you on stream.
Perhaps.
As he comes towards the bus stop to get us underway once again.
Obviously old teammates, me and Nick, from Season 1, so we know each other pretty well. I know what he's gonna do.
Of course, yeah, and just as predicted,
He's underway now.
he is gone, and he has left Hamid and Quad End napping a little bit there.
Yeah.
As Rob is already looking on a move on his teammate.
Down the inside of Skip, and that's a nice move.
Yeah, that's a lovely move from Jerome, already making moves like you said, and now but Jerome with the slipstream might be under pressure from Skip, so we're going to stay with this battle. As actually Kaz is the one challenging Skip now for 7th place, and he gets the move done well before the corner, so maybe Skip running high downforce.
Yeah.
And Kaz is now going to challenge Jerome as well, and he's trying to go down the inside, doesn't quite manage it. He's going to maybe try the switchback.
Oh my! Oh, there's a big crash.
Ooh, Golf is out. Who?
It's Golf and both the Red Bulls. I think the Red Bulls have come together. And there's another
It's Quad
safety
End.
car that...
Yeah, Quad End, Rob, and Golf, and Golf coming out worse there. Quad End has damage, I believe. Oh no,
I don't see any.
I don't see any. No.
The visual.
Rob does. Rob has no front wing.
So that was definitely the two Red Bulls coming together.
Interesting one. We were focusing on the battle between Jerome and Kaz. We missed that.
Yeah.
That's going to help out the trio that we were talking about in the last safety car a whole bunch, and we're definitely going to see some soft runners pit, I would say.
Yeah, I was just going to say that now would be a time to pit for the hard compound tires and go to the end, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, as we're going to see what our leader does. He's led from pole and led every lap, albeit most behind the safety car. All behind the safety car, in fact.
Yeah, we have not had a proper racing lap. Nick is not in, Ange is in. Is
That's
Jerome going to pit?
Interesting
He's not.
choice. Jerome also stays out, and so does Kaz.
Stays out.
AJ
Skip
obviously
is
in those
in.
mediums.
Quadrant stays out. So this is interesting, man. They are banking on a late race safety car then.
Yeah, only 3 pitters, and Simi and Quad not pitting from the soft, so they will have to stop again. Almost definitely, they're not going to get those softs to the end of the race.
AJ might be now the only one who didn't pit who has a chance to go to the end.
Yes, that is true. AJ is in a really good position here, despite his first lap conundrum and pit.
Skip has gone on the softs, which is definitely an interesting call, I think.
Clearly he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't want to go on the hards. Maybe he thinks the hards aren't a good race tyre. Could be possible.
Yep. I mean, Ange and Rob are also both on mediums, so I think they're avoiding hards like the plague here, but that could have been a strategical error.
Very possibly. Although AJ and the restart seem to have pretty reasonable pace on those hard tyres. Yeah. So I can't see them being too bad.
So...
As
they
we've
might
got...
not have all the day that we do.
We've got Stevie in the chat saying he's gutted because they had their Alpine 1-2 and then he got severe damage, so that must have been floor and or side pod damage as well as front wing damage for him, which meant he couldn't continue, which is unfortunate. Sorry to hear that, Stevie. So we go back on board with our leader.
That
Nick
must have been
Furyman.
extremely unfortunate for Golf if the two Red Bulls did come together. Obviously we missed it, so we don't know, but that's what it looked like. And I think Golf was just a passenger in that.
It's times like this where you wish you had a production crew giving you replays, isn't it, of these things? Because we don't know whether it was all three of them coming together, whether it was Golf and one of them coming together, or it was the two Red Bulls and Golf was caught up as collateral damage. We just don't know. I'm sure we'll find out, and hopefully Golf can tell us in the chat. That'll be nice. As we are going to have another lap under safety car, unfortunately.
Ooh, that was close between the Red Bull and Simi there. And Stevie confirmed the floor damage, so that is very unfortunate.
Yeah, yellow floor damage is going to kill your race.
Oh, there is
Jerome and Quad End as well, yeah. So those three deciding that those tyres are second hand.
Jerome now going to the end on hards.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I reckon Skip can get to the end on those mediums as well, to be honest, and Quad End too.
Yeah, I think mediums now go to the end if you have new ones. So Ange and Rob are definitely going to the end as well.
Everyone but Simi, Nick, and Kaz, we believe, are now going to the end, and those three still have to pit. So AJ, if you're counting pit stops that are yet to be done into account, is in the net race lead.
Yeah.
Albeit with a penalty.
Has a second time penalty, yeah.
Yes.
Is it 3 or is it 5? Hold on. It's 3 seconds, okay. And Golf has confirmed that he was an innocent bystander, so...
Yeah, he has. Sorry to hear that, Golf. As Dablo in chat, thanks for chatting, says that Nick, Jerome and Kaz is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately...
that the top 3 are interesting, but...
unfortunately, Jerome has pitted and we won't get that. But now he can go to the end, so he might have an advantage over Nick and Kaz now.
But he needs to clear Rob and Ange first, and AJ as well, so it's not going to be an easy task, especially on those hard compounded tires. That might hinder him a little bit.
That is very true, but we know he's, from the first restart, he's not afraid to put some moves in and get aggressive. So I'm sure we'll see him work his way quickly up the field. As we may get ourselves underway again this time round. We do.
Yes, we do.
Can we finally get some full racing laps, please? Everyone keep it clean. So it looks like Nick's doing a similar strategy as he did before. Going as fast as he can, trying to keep up with the safety car.
Yeah. But this time he's got Kaz behind him, and I think Kaz, especially we saw he has a lower downforce setup, so down that main straight he's going to be very vulnerable. That
is true. As the safety car is into the pit lane now, we should get underway. Now he's gone. So Nick gets away, and there's already some people looking for moves behind. Rob pulling out of the slipstream there of Anchamid and having a look down into turn 1. That's not going to be on this time. AJ's already dropped to almost a second from the top 2. And see if Kaz in that slipstream can get a run on Nick Furyman. He's already gained 2 tenths between La Source and Eau Rouge, and he's absolutely abusing his ERS, and he's tucked into the slipstream. This is going to be a move for the lead from the Aston Martin driver, and he takes it before the end of the Kemmel straight into the chicane, and that is a change of the lead. Kaz now leads from our pole sitter Nick Furyman, with AJ still bringing up P3, and I believe everyone else has stayed line astern, although there is some jostling.
Yep, the McLaren's gone wide, and that's the position for Rob. McLaren of Anchamid going a little bit wide there in sector 2, putting him under good pressure, and now Jerome's looking for the move.
Down on board.
No, he backs out of it.
Yeah, that's smart. That would have been very opportunistic through Puon and very dangerous. He decides better of it, and this is actually our closest battle on track, so we should stay on board with this. as we know that Jerome's going to be very racy, trying to pull his way back up. Meanwhile, out in front, the top two are streaking away from AJ on those hard tyres.
AJ seems to be struggling and might be under pressure from Simi here.
Yep, that is true, as we've got Jerome already getting the move done on Hamid, Skip getting the move done on quad end, and Simi getting the move done on AJ. I can't keep up with all this, but yeah, Simi up into the podium positions and now.
Is very close to Kaz as well. And
That's
Jerome
very
making
true.
a move on Rob now. They're side by side through the final corner, and Jerome has made up 2 positions.
Right, on board with Nick. Can he get the lead back? Obviously no DRS for another lap yet for everyone, because after a safety car you have to wait until 3 laps after the safety cars come in to get the benefit of that rear wing opening. He's on the overtake mode, but he's not gaining as much as Kaz did.
AJ, Simi and Jerome are very close to each other here.
That's
AJ
very
is
true.
going to move down the inside.
And Jerome's looking to take
side by side
advantage.
for 2 commentators of Division 1.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see how
Oh, and
this one turns out.
Jerome's going down the inside,
Great
taking advantage of Simi.
opportunistic move there.
Absolutely, like you said, opportunistic, and Rob might join the party. It's not quite close enough. Simi going defensive into no-name corner, but Rob has got the move done. What a move! Simi on those softs
well
already
done.
struggling.
Yeah, Nick is holding on to Kaz here, so once DRS does get enabled, I think Nick has a very good chance to get back at Kaz, especially through that high downforce section of the track, as Simi's dropping another place now.
Yes, I've caught that on stream. On board with Simi, he went wide and lost a place to Anj Hamid, and Rob has got himself
Now
3
Jerome's
seconds for corner
going for the
cutting.
move, and has done the move on AJ.
Yep.
Wow.
He has definitely, like you said, been aggressive. He's now got 4 seconds to catch up to the 2 leaders who are still locked together. As Nick almost looked down the inside of the Aston Martin, and DRS is now enabled for our drivers. So the only 2 people on track, well, 3 people on track who will not get the benefit of DRS is Kaz, Jerome, and AJ.
At the moment, and Quad and as well.
And Quad at the back of the pack. So.
But remember that Kaz and Nick still need to pit. Like, they're not good. Kaz might be going to win, but Nick is definitely not going to win.
That's true. And as I'm on board with Rob, using the last little bit of his DRS to try and get past with the DRS on AJ, and he looks to have the move done as he pulls to the right hand side, but AJ's going to try and stick it out down the inside. Can he loop it round the outside? I think those mediums just have given Rob enough grip to get that move done, and he has. Brilliant move there from Rob using the DRS.
Yeah. And now it's going to be interesting to see if Rob can catch up to Jerome ahead, who's not making too many inroads into the lead of Nick and Kaz.
No, and Kaz seems to have a slight pace advantage, especially in the first sector at least, over Nick.
Yeah.
And he's now pulled the gap.
Remember, those mediums are 9 laps old for Nick.
Yes, so he's now pulled the gap to almost a second. It was over a second for a little bit. It's now back over a second, so Nick will not get the benefit of DRS anymore, and Kaz can stretch his legs.
Yeah, and I think Kaz at this point knows he has to go to the end on these mediums.
As
Simi
Simi and Anj Hamid now side by side through Blanchimont. Round the outside goes Simi, and that's a lovely move. Max Verstappen-esque. And he's going to also go for AJ, and there's contact between the 2 cars. The two commentators for Tier 1 come together, unfortunately, and he boxes to get rid of those soft tyres. Oh, so is Nick.
Making a move on Anj Hamid as well.
Nick has also pitted from 2nd place.
Yeah.
So now it is Kaz who's growing the gap to Jerome. 5 seconds, so quite comfortable at the moment. 5 laps to go. Rob in 3rd, but with a 3-second penalty looming. Same with AJ with that 3-second penalty, meaning skip. Oh, and we've got a retirement.
That's on the
through
top of Rouge as Skip is going for the move.
And we're going to see what happened there with Simi's POV. Oh, he despawned before he got there. Brilliant. Okay, I think he just spun on the exit and hit the exit wall a bit like Kevin Magnussen did in 2016, if anyone remembers. A bit of a reference, but we've got some more close battles on track with Skip and AJ being the closest right now.
It's interesting that AJ has now lost DRS to Rob, so he won't have DRS down the back straight. And it's going to be Skip in the Williams on the medium tires who's going to look for the move. We know this guy can race, and he's going to be up to AJ to defend it.
AJ getting all squirrely coming out of the final the second sector, and that's going to leave him wide open. It looks like Skip's not going to hang around. He's going to try and get the move done. AJ covers the inside line, and Skip thinks better of it than to hang it around the outside of Blanchimont. He will have to try again at the very earliest down into the bus stop, but he's too far back on this occasion. Obviously now Skip will get the benefit of the drag reduction system. The rearing flap opening giving him about 20 kilometers an hour more top speed down the long Kemmel straight, and AJ's wide but does get quite a good exit out of La Source. But as we go into Eau Rouge, you can see with the overtake mode and the slipstream that I don't think AJ is going to be able to defend this one.
Importantly, Jerome last lap 1 second faster than Kaz, and now is closing in at a rate of not.
Yeah, Skip is past AJ with an easy DRS pass there. We knew it was coming. He didn't have to do it, but I think he wants to keep with Rob, as he knows Rob has that 3 second. And like you said, Jerome really putting the anchor down now and trying to get after our leader. He's got 4 laps to do it, more or less. And by now, I'd say if we had a predictor like they do on Sky Sports, it would be predicting a last lap battle for these two. So that's one to watch. As the only 2 people who are within DRS range of each other are, well, there's actually no one now because it was Hamid, but he's dropped out of AJ's DRS range.
And Jerome as well, closing in very, very quickly, and you need to remember Kaz's tires are going to be starting to fall off now. You saw it happen with Nick's tires early on, and now those tires for Kaz have done 9 laps. So any day, definitely Kaz will need to defend hard at some point in this race.
That's true. Jerome not made as much of an impact on the lead as he did in the last lap, but he's still only 3 seconds down with 4 laps to go, so he needs less than a second a lap, which right now will be enough.
That last lap, Jerome 1.3 seconds quicker than Kaz, as Nick Fuhrman goes fastest of anybody.
Yep, he will be very quickly on the back of AJ and Hamid. Speaking of, it looks like the McLaren is going to get a chance to move himself up into the top 5 as AJ on those hards just dropping down, doesn't seem to have any pace, but he does pick up his 3 second of his own through Eau Rouge. As we go on board with him and down with the DRS pass. DRS is so powerful around here down the Kemmel straight.
Yeah.
And gets the move done. And Nick Furyman decides, I'll have a bit of this, and he's right now on the back of AJ, and he's going to get the move done already. AJ tries to hang it around the outside. They're still wheel to wheel. AJ will have the inside line into No Name Corner. Can he defend for now? I think the defence is futile in the long run, but he's trying his best. Is AJ on those old hard tyres? He goes wide into Pouon.
Get a pause and there's a bit of a tap there, but I don't think any damage.
Yeah, a little bit wide. Bit of understeer for AJ into Pouon. But
you can see AJ struggling on those tyres a lot now.
You can just see how much more grip and confidence the Alpine has over AJ, and I don't think it's going to be long. It might be now actually that he gets the move done. I don't think he'll want to hang around. And he doesn't. He gets the move down the inside just before Blanchimont.
Yeah.
And now he's going to set after Hamid, and I dare say that he's going to be overtaking him on the Kemmel straight, but AJ comes back. AJ comes back and they're wheel to wheel, and he just doesn't have the traction.
Grip difference.
Yeah, and
it's absolutely crucial, and Nick could still be on for a podium here.
Absolutely, with the pace on those soft tyres. All he has to do is overtake Skip and then get within 3 seconds of Rob, and he is on the podium.
Yeah.
As we're going to stay on board with him, as he's going to have the DRS on Anchameed. But it doesn't look like he's close enough. He doesn't have much DRS left, does Nick, because of the overtakes he's made, so he might need to just harvest on this lap. But look at the grip he has through the chicane, just eases up to the back of him, closes 5/10 in the space of about 2.5 corners. And he's all over the back of this McLaren like a rash, and you've got to think he might even try to move here. He does. He's going to get on the overtake mode, and they're going to be side by side. Is he going to try it to poo on? He thinks better of it, which I think is a smart decision. But Anchameed goes wide, and they're side by side again through the second part of poo on. They make contact there with the McLaren going into the side pod. But the Alpine of Nick, our pole sitter, does get the move done in the end, and he will, I imagine, streak away from those two as AJ gets his second time penalty for track limits.
Yeah, and now it's going to be extremely interesting because now Jerome slowed down. He hasn't got enough at the moment to challenge Kaz. It's 1.6 seconds now. He's definitely still gaining, but no ERS anymore for the Mercedes.
Yes, he's drained his ERS, but he's still lapping faster at the moment. So he's got one lap to gain 6/10 and be in that crucial DRS zone for the final lap.
Yeah, but we also know that Kaz is running low downforce, and he has a lot of ERS left if you compare the two, so it could be an interesting end to this race.
It's looking good for Rob. Not Rob, sorry.
Yeah.
It's looking good for Kaz.
Kaz,
My apologies. At the moment,
He's on for a P4.
he is. Skip's doing enough with that penalty. I don't think Nick Furyman is really making too many inroads into Skip. Not enough for Skip to be worried about losing his potential podium. I think it's just a little too late for Nick. Maybe could have done with pitting under one of the safety cars.
He might get into Rob's penalty window if he drives like a maniac.
That's true, he needs another couple of seconds. But he has gained a second in half a lap here, so it's definitely possible. Obviously, like I've mentioned, this is only a pre-season. They're not fighting for points, they are just fighting for bragging rights, but who doesn't love some bragging rights?
Jerome not in the DRS. Absolutely crucially not in the DRS going on to the last lap.
Yeah, Jerome so low on ERS and hasn't been able to make any inroads into the lead of Kaz, and it's looking good for our Aston Martin driver who got involved in some collisions in the first lap but has done really well to make his way back up into P1.
Yeah. And I think also one of the favourites coming into this race, and it's been a very nice drive for Kaz this far, taking these tyres almost the entire race. That is very, very impressive, and it's looking like he has it.
He definitely has some pace, looking good for the season ahead, as our only close battle on track right now is between AJ and the McLaren of Anchameed. Although I feel even if AJ does get this move done, it won't mean anything because he has 3 seconds more of penalties than the McLaren. But it might just be nice to do it on track. Oh, there's contact a little bit.
There's front wing damage now to the McLaren.
There is, and AJ does get the move done. I mean, it was a small amount of damage, but yeah, unfortunate to see. But like I said, I think Hamid will get that lap back, that position back with the penalties anyway. As our lead pair are now coming onto the final sector. Kaz has been kind of everywhere in this race in terms of positions. He was involved in a lap 1 skirmish and had to pit for a front wing, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he's been on these tyres ever since.
Yes.
So he's done amazingly well to hold on to them as he rounds the final corner, the bus stop chicane, and will take the win in the pre-season race. He weaves across the line And Jerome will take P2, and now we look to the battle for P3. Has Skip done enough to stay within 3 seconds? It looks like he has.
It looks like he has, but has Nick done enough to stay within 3 seconds? Is he going to get close enough? Oh, by 1/10.
1/10. He misses out on 4th, yeah. But Skip takes P3, Rob P4, Nick Furyman P5, Hamid P6, and it will be Simi P7. And that is your final order for the race. A great win from Kaz. And I think an interesting race overall, apart from the safety car periods at the start. And some really, really good driving, wheel-to-wheel racing, and very impressive tyre management.
Yeah. Are we doing podium interviews for this?
We are,
you know?
yeah. We are.
I'll ask them. Oh, I'm just asking to do chat, and I was wondering why Jerome's not showing up.
Okay, so I will take you through the final order. It is Kaz takes the win by 8/10 to Jerome, with Skip in the Williams rounding out the podium. Then it's Rob, Nick, Hamid, Simi, AJ, and Quad End, who finished top 9, with Quad End, Golf, Stevie, and Shah at DNFs for the race. So we will now get the podium guys ready for an interview.
Me?
Yeah,
Sorry for my English. I don't
it's
speak
fine.
too much in my life. My race is uh, tough in beginning because in front of me I watched the 3, 4, 5 weeks incident, but the pace was good, and my race engineer Simo uh, give me the right information for pit, and was good. First podium,
Yeah,
but Jerome is a Division One driver. For me, is a pitch.
yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, very good race to finish P3 there from you, and I'm trying to drag Nick in, but oh, but no.
No.
Okay, we'll
Okay,
jam
maybe
a
not then. Yeah,
voice chat
well,
with Nick later.
yeah, well done to you, Skip, for that P3. Obviously, I have one question for you. You didn't get it on
Yeah.
track. You got it through a penalty. So, um, just a quick word on those last few laps. When you were trying to catch up with Rob, were you pushing full out, or did you know that you had a little bit in hand and you could just keep it clean?
Uh, no, I want to catch him, but the pace is not too fast for catch him in this race, and I watch is a have a penalty as a penalty, and just don't make a mistake in my last lap.
Okay. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the
Thank you.
podium. Um,
Thank you.
and then we move on to our P2 man, Jerome. A great race from yourself in terms of pulling yourself back. Obviously, I think it was clear to see quali didn't go your way. Talk us through what went wrong in qualifying and then what it was like fighting everyone as you came back through the pack.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
All right. Qualifying was a mess. I got an invalidation both times through a rouge, and it seemed to throw a lot of other people off during the race. But yeah, really disappointing there. And then into turn one, the contact and through turn one, and the big crash at the beginning put me in P11, and I wasn't in a very good position. But I fought through pitting on the second safety car on lap 5, I believe, for hard tires, and I made it to the end. Watching everyone else pit and fight, it was really, really fun to attempt to catch up to Kazia's amazing pace and great management with the ZRS. I was just fully deploying mine, and I kind of lost track of the amount of laps we had left, and I knew it was going to be really difficult to catch him, and I ended up not. But yeah, amazing race. Climbing from, I believe, P9 to P2 was yeah, very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for giving us an exciting race and climbing through. You were, I'd say, quite a big proportion of the excitement. So thanks for that and making our lives a little bit easier in the commentary box. And
Yep.
congrats on the P2.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to head down to drivers now and interview Nick.
Yes.
Would you be able to head down and tell the other two to vacate
Yeah.
before I switch the stream over? Nice. Right, so we just wait for them to switch the stream over. Thanks everyone who's watched. We've got 12 viewers, I think we had 15 viewers, so thanks everyone. Obviously, this is my first time doing anything like this, so I hope everything went well. I hope the stream was okay. In future, if anyone... Okay. Okay, everyone hear me? All right, good.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, Nick, you're on pole,
Yep.
and you led the race for quite a long time. Just got the strategy a little bit wrong. What happened there, and what was your thought process behind not pitting under those safety cars?
Yeah, I mean, my plan was well, I got told to go into hards. I was like, I wasn't really too keen on that because I started on the mediums. So my plan was to try and wait out and go into the softs and then just attempt to pass people who pitted early on the safety car. I thought Kaz didn't pit, so I thought he was going to pit with me, but I just got confused and made an error in my pit strategy, unfortunately, but oh well.
Well, yeah, it was a shame because you seem to have a lot of pace. Obviously, putting it on pole in the wet. I haven't asked this to any of the other ones, so I'm interested to know. When you saw it was wet in qualifying, did you stick it out with the dry setup, knowing to be dry in the race, or did you go for kind of a in between to give you a better lap?
Yeah, I mean, I went for well, I got told it was probably going to rain in the race, like a few minutes into the race, by my teammate. So I was like, oh, okay, then I'll just try and get a bit of a medium sort of thing with both wet and dry. But yeah, it didn't really work out in the end just because it was just a dry race at the end. So yeah, should have just kept it on just a full dry setup, I think.
Yeah, well, shame with the pit stops, but congrats on the pole, and the pace definitely looks there. So I look forward to seeing you fighting at the front again when the season starts next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, so that is it for this stream. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for Nexi for joining me.
Yep.
I didn't think this would be possible without you. My commentary without you would be extremely boring. So thanks for filling in the gaps and making my life a lot easier.
You are very welcome. I look forward to doing this for a whole season.
Absolutely. And yes, like he's just mentioned, we'll be back next week for round 1 of Division 2. And if you stay on the channel, Division 1 will be starting very shortly. So get ready for that, because I'm sure that will be just as exciting as this was. Thanks for watching.